let's say that I have a little party going on, and Brad Pitt walks in. This is my generic high-value guy, example high-value guy. So Brad Pitt walks in, and my roommate goes running up to him, and he says, "Oh, Brad Pitt, hey, how's it going? I'm Mark, and nice to meet you, and the bathroom's over there, and there's drinks over there, and if there's anything you need, just let me know, Notice that he's reacting to Brad, and Brad's not reacting to him. Notice that the reactiveness, that one guy is trying to make the other guy be impressed, and the other guy's not trying to impress. He doesn't care. Okay? What if I came up with some other excuses where I'm trying to impress somebody? What if I said, hey, see that Lamborghini parked outside? That's mine. Okay? There's nothing wrong with having a Lamborghini. It's cool. It's high value. But to brag that you have a Lamborghini lowers your value because now you're trying to impress. Well, if you're trying to impress her more than she's trying to impress you, then you're reacting to her more than she's reacting to you. So you're lower value than her and she's higher value than you. See? People do this out of insecurity. When you have an insecurity, and you try and find excuses or reasons to compensate for that and make yourself look better. You're concerned that you don't look cool enough or you don't look high value enough and you're trying to make yourself look better. Okay? As opposed to just enjoying the good vibe of the interaction. Okay? Even monkeys get together in groups and they all chatter together and laugh. They're having this vibe together. They're having this good feeling together. And so when you're interacting with people, you want to have this good social vibe going on between the two of you. An insecure person, instead of feeling comfortable and just having a good, fun social vibe, he'll try and compensate for his insecurities. He'll try and come up with reasons where, oh, I know they don't think that much of me, but I'll show them this and that'll change their mind. Okay? So they might say, oh, well, I fuck a lot of girls. I had a student once, and I was teaching boot camp, and I was giving him some constructive criticism on his game. I said, I noticed that you're a little too, obviously trying to get the girl. You're like the agenda guy. You look like you want something. You look like you're all up trying to get something from her. And, for you, I was giving him feedback, which he paid for, obviously. I said, for you, what you need to do is you need to be a little more reserved. You need to chill back a little bit and not be so obvious that you're so hungry. Okay? And here's what he said to me. He goes, I get laid. Now think about this for a second. Does he really trying to improve his skill set? Or does he just want to feel better about himself? Obviously he's got something in his mind where there's something wrong with guys if they don't get laid. And that's not me. I get laid. Right? And so the fact that he gets laid, he's putting it out there because it makes him feel better. It sort of helps validate himself. Well, at least I get laid. I'm not one of those guys who doesn't get laid. You can see that's his criteria by which he determines that he's a cool guy or that he has value. So whenever he feels like that's threatened, he puts that reason out there. Well, I get laid. I'm like, well, bro, I'm sure you do. I mean, if you're pushy on a lot of girls, you're going to hook some of them. I'm sure you get laid here and there. And I told him this. I said, but you're a bottom feeder. You're not getting the ones that you want, and I know that because why else are you taking this class? Why else are you coming here and paying me to give you advice? If you want me to just make you feel better about yourself, I can say, oh, well, you look like the kind of guy who gets laid a lot. Right? If you want criticism on your game, do this. Lay back a little bit. Don't lean in. Lean back a little more. Push away more. Instead of trying to grab her all the time, push her off. Notice when you touch a girl, you can touch her in a pushing way or a pulling way. And guys don't think of that. Guys always try and touch her in a pulling way. They always try I want to get something. Instead of a push her away and touch her in that way. Make sense? So let's say, for example, I'll try and make this more clear. Here's another example I got from Tyler, actually. He said, let's say that a guy came in and he's wearing a cool jacket, some new jacket. And he says, He says, hey guys, check out my jacket. What do you guys think? This is my new jacket. It's pretty cool. Okay? Now, if you're comfortable with yourself and you're just vibing with him, then you'll say, oh, cool, that is a cool jacket, bro. Oh, that looks great. Right? But let's say that instead you're insecure and you take this as an opportunity to try and make yourself look better. You say, yeah, that jacket's cool, but I've got a really cool one back home in my closet. You should see the jacket I've got. Right? And now there's this weird vibe settles over the interaction. People are like, okay, you got a cool jacket, whatever. Right? You see what I'm saying here? Is that right when someone was trying to vibe with you and say, hey, look at this cool jacket that I've got. Look how cool it is. You can vibe back. You can say, oh, yeah, that is really cool, bro. You know? Inside, I might be thinking, yeah, I've got a way better jacket. You know, but why the fuck would I say that? You know, I'm just going to make him feel good. It's just about good feelings, right? He wants to vibe. Oh, that's a cool jacket. But instead, if I'm insecure and I'm trying to make myself look better, then I'll take it as an excuse to go try and pump my value and say, oh, well, I've got a better jacket than that. Okay? You see the difference? So there's a difference between trying to impress people and just having a good vibe with people. So when I'm trying to impress, I'm reacting. The person who's trying to impress more is the person who's trying to react, is the person who's trying more, right, is the person who's reacting more. Okay? So it's not just about not trying to impress, but it's about not trying at all, not having to try, not thinking that way, not even being in that headspace. Make sense? You're not even in that headspace. It wouldn't even occur to you to talk that way.
So, like, you know how he said he defined himself through the criteria of, you know, I'm a guy who gets laid. You don't have any criteria like that. You don't measure yourself. You just.
Based on what?
Yeah, I mean.
But how would you measure your own criteria?
Well, I would, measure what my good aspects versus my bad aspects.
Some people do it based on their social alignments. They feel good about themselves because they're in a gang, or because they follow a certain football team.
Yeah.
Some people do it based on having a role, an authoritative role. Some people do it based on superficial standards like money or women or status. And some people, they just feel internally validated. They just don't need any one reason to make them feel good about themselves. They just naturally feel good about themselves. And that's what I want from you. You know, if I let's say that it's money. Let's say I give you a big stack of money and that makes you feel good about yourself. What happens when that gets taken away? Right. Make sense? Okay. So what I'm saying here is this is about being inside your own headspace instead of having it dictated to you by other people. Okay? Mystery has this sort of distracted, crazy rock star vibe to him. Like, almost like Jim Morrison. Something like that. Where he's sort of in his own head. Oh, hey, cool. Yeah, I'm having a good time. Right? I'm Mystery. You know? I'm building superstardom. Eh? Isn't that cool? I mean, how cool is that? Are you ready for this? I've got my own show on VH1. Isn't that cool? I mean, how cool is that? 1 second. Right? He's just kind of thinking about his own things, ruminating on his own things. And he gets distracted. Oh, there's a beautiful girl. Bro, that is a beautiful... I'm going to go talk to her. Right? Look at that lighting over there. That is beautiful. He'll walk over and look at it. Okay? He's in his own headspace. He's sort of got this distracted rock star persona. He might be talking to some girl and, oh, just 1 second. And he'll start talking to someone else. Right? And then, oh, yeah, sorry. Right? So he's not trying to impress other people. He's not even having to try. He's not even in that headspace. He's in his own headspace. He's in his own little wonderland, and he's doing what he wants to do, talking to people he wants to talk to, admiring the things that he wants to admire. Oh, look at that painting. That's so beautiful. Look at that. Right? He's not saying things because he's trying to impress someone else. He's just in his own little world. Okay? It's a very high value subcommunication. Okay, here's another one. I already went over this. Willingness to walk. Not in a punishing way, but rather like you just have other cool stuff. Something better to do, something that distracted you. You have options. You determine your own priorities, based on the most attractive option. Maybe you saw a cool painting and wandered over to it, forgetting for a second that you left her standing alone. See, another guy, she shows him a little interest, and he clings to her side. He doesn't want to leave. He's scared to leave. Mystery wanders off. She's like, well, why did he leave? He was fun, he was funny, we were having fun. He just wandered off, and she's standing over there looking at the painting. And she stands there for a second blinking, like, boink, boink, boink. She's not sure this doesn't happen normally. Usually the guy will be right here, firmly attached to her leg, So she goes wandering over there. She goes wandering over to him and taps him on the arm. So whatever happened with that one thing you were telling me about? He goes, huh? Oh, yeah. See that distracted persona?
Is that calculated, or is that...
That's a good question. I know it's calculated at first until you get enough practice. Okay. Being comfortable, being outcome independent, not caring about the outcome. Okay? The way I like to describe this to people is I say, imagine that social interaction is this random soup. There's 6 billion people on the earth. So there's no way that you're ever going to meet them all. You're never going to meet all the people on the face of the earth. You're just going to randomly meet some people. You're going to have more people to interact with than you have time, even out of those. I might meet 10,000 people or 100,000 people in my life. I don't know how many. But how many do I really have time to hang out with and interact with? Only certain ones. And the value proposition between the two of us is going to be what's going to determine that. Why am I hanging out with that guy instead of that guy? There must be some extra value proposition there. Not because there's something wrong with that guy as a person, but just because I only have so many hours in the day. And, happen to be getting the relationship with this guy is a good value for value relationship, and so we ended up hanging out more than me and the other guy. Make sense? So being outcome independent. Okay, so imagine social interaction like this random soup. And I'll tell this to girls, by the way, that you can use this like a routine. I'll tell this to girls. I'll say, if you try and predetermine the outcome of some relationship between me and another person, then you're putting it in a box and you're restricting it from wherever it would have naturally grown to be. Okay? A relationship is just the way that two people relate to each other over time. Make sense? So as I'm relating to her over time, I'm naturally going to say this, she's naturally going to respond like this, and we're naturally going to end up talking about this, and then we're going to naturally end up meeting some other people that we know, and our relationship is going to naturally unfold, and it's going to open like a flower, and it's going to become whatever it was going to be. Okay? All I can do by trying to put restrictions on it is all I can do is fuck it up. Instead of letting it naturally unfold and become what it's going to be, I can try and restrict it and cut it off in certain ways, put it in a box, and then I just fucked up what would have naturally happened. Okay, let's say that my outcome is I gotta get laid, I gotta fuck this girl. Okay, guys are very goal-oriented. So they look at it like, well, I'm gonna talk to this girl, and I'm gonna try and fuck her. If I do, then it's a good outcome and I've succeeded. If I don't fuck her, then I failed, and it was a bad outcome. Okay? So let's play that out. I go meet some girl, I want to fuck her, I try and steer it in that direction, it doesn't happen that way, and then I end up not hearing from her again. And then I go out to the next girl, try and fuck her. I'm trying to put restrictions on trying to put our relationship in a box, basically. I'm trying to predetermine the outcome like it's important to me, like I care. Okay? But what if instead I just was cool and hung out with her and put out a good vibe? The way I look at it is social interaction is like this random soup. Whatever vibe you put out is the vibe that you get back. Okay? And so if you put out a weird vibe, then weird things will constantly happen to you. If you put out a really good positive vibe, then good things will constantly happen to you on a random basis. They'll just randomly good things will happen. Okay? So when I go out and interact socially, I'm putting out a good vibe, a positive vibe, and random good things happen. I get laid. You know, I'm interacting with these people, I happen to hit it off with this girl, I get laid. Interact with these people, talk to that girl, maybe I meet her friend, and then her friend brings her roommate, and then I get laid. Right? I'm not predetermining these things. I'm just putting out a good vibe, and good things happen. Right? Again, I'll use this as a routine. Like, I'll tell girls this. I'll say, you know, I feel like if you just put out a good vibe to people, then good things will randomly happen. So, and here's the critical point. Given that good things are going to happen anyway, random good things are going to happen anyway, then why do I care? Why do I try and force the sex out of this one, or force the sex out of that one? I'm going to get the sex anyway. Okay? You know, it could be if I'm trying to take this one girl and get the sex out of her, and I got to get the sex, or I failed. Now I'm starting to view all my social interactions as failure because they don't result in sex. If I didn't have sex with this girl, then there was a failure. Was there a failure? My social skills got better. I interacted with her. I had a good vibe with her. Okay? Then she calls her sister over, and her sister calls over her roommate, and I go home with the roommate. Which never would have happened if I tried to fuck this one girl and tried to force it in that direction. It didn't work out that way. Then, okay, whatever, fuck you then. And then she's out of my life. I never would have met the sister. I never would have met the roommate. See what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that you're not going to get an outcome or don't want to get an outcome, because you do want to get an outcome. You want to get laid, you want to get a girlfriend, whatever. Or you want to get better options, whatever the goal is with these tools. What I am saying is that by trying to force an outcome on this specific person and that specific person, you're restricting yourself. You're putting everything in a box, and you're not letting it unfold naturally to where it's going to be anyway. Okay? A lot of the times when I hook up with some girl, it's not the girl I first met. It's her roommate or her sister or her friend or her sister's roommate's friend. Her roommate's sister's friend's cousin or whatever. Maybe I invite her to the house and tell her to bring some friends. She brings 2 cute friends and I hook up with one of the friends. Okay? Guys make this mistake constantly. They try and force a certain outcome on a certain girl, and if it doesn't occur exactly that way, then it fuck you and it's a big failure and it's a big fuck up. You know, I was out with this girl in San Diego, and she went up to the bar, and I was standing nearby with some friends, and this guy looks at her and he goes, do you have a boyfriend? She goes, yeah. He goes, oh, okay, no drink for you then. Right? Do you have a boyfriend? Oh, no drink for you. Like, he's trying to force it. I will fuck you. And if you're unavailable, well, fuck you then. Right? But I'm standing over there with her group of 5 hot friends. You know, what if she said, yeah, I'm here with my boyfriend, he's right there. And he goes, oh, cool, you know, nice to meet you. I'm whoever, I'm Mike. You know, introduce me to your friends. Oh, come on over. Hey, guys, this is Mike. He's really cool. Oh, hi, Mike, I'm Chris. I see you met my girl. You know, also, I'd like you to meet Mariana. I'd like you to meet Becca. I'd like you to meet Rachel, or whatever. Right? And he randomly has a good vibe with her. She brings him in, so he's accepted by one of their peers. So they all accept him. He starts having fun and talking to them. He goes home with Becca, or whatever. See what's going on here? See how obvious and pathetic it is up front? If he's like, do you have a boyfriend? I'll buy you a drink if you don't have a boyfriend. It's like, well, gee, I wonder what you want. Wonder what you're not getting. You know? Wonder what you want really bad but you haven't been getting for a while. Loser. Comes off like a loser guy. You know? What if he's cool? What if he says, you know, hey, how's it going? Do you have a boyfriend around here? Yeah, he's right there. That's actually a loser question, but let's say he asked it. Okay? Really loser question. He goes, yeah, he's right there. I'd be like, cool, let me get shots for the both of you. Introduce me to your friends. Hey, this guy's cool. He just bought us a shot. Hey, I want you to meet my friend, Janie. Oh, hi, what's your name? You know, they end up in the corner talking. You know, he's cool, he's great. And they just naturally, well, what happened? Well, one thing led to another. It just happened. It naturally unfolded to where it was going to be. Okay? So I don't want you to look at your game and your sets as if they're one by one. Try this one, success or failure. Try this one, success or failure. Try this one, success or failure. It's too outcome dependent. You're too much trying to force a certain outcome instead of just putting out a good energy. That's why I'm talking about the yin energy and the yang energy. I'm talking about putting out the right kind of vibe to where you'll just naturally attract these good things to yourself. Okay? If you really put out this vibe properly, then really the rest of the game doesn't really matter. It's not really relevant. Like, none of the canned routines are really relevant. So if you put out this vibe.
So you don't game any specific girl?
I will, but I don't care about the outcome. Okay? I don't game her like, oh, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. I game her like, well, whatever happens, happens. But I practice the game, right? Oh, IOI, compliance test, right? Compliance, reward, good girl, hug, push away to create comfort and safety, another compliance test. Defiance, IOD, demonstrate value. IOIs, compliance test, boom, I'm playing the game. But I'm not playing it like it's important to me to get that girl, or it's important to me to get that girl. And I'm really validated if I get her, but really devalidated if I don't. Okay? Just be outcome independent. So I'm not saying you don't want to get outcomes. You do want to play the game and go towards a certain outcome. What I'm saying is you don't want to be emotionally invested in it. You don't want your emotional state to be determined based on whether you got this outcome or that outcome. You want to be carefree. Whatever. I know I'm going to get late anyway. Right? But with that attitude in mind, yes, then I'll play the game. Question?
Do you actually know what your outcome is when you're going in, or do you just kind of don't care?
I kind of don't care. Yeah. My outcome is get some great girlfriend, get laid tonight, meet some cool people, meet a cool guy. A lot of my connections and social power come from all the cool guys that I know. It's very hard to find cool guys. I know a couple cool guys in this city or that city. I'm hooked up. So why would I be like, let's say I meet some girl and she's like, oh, my boyfriend's over there. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck you then. Meanwhile, I just cut myself off from meeting the coolest guy in town. And he could have brought me to a movie star's party next weekend and I would have got laid with 3 girls in a jacuzzi. Right? Okay. So again, I want you to play the game. I want you to play to win. But I don't want you to be invested in this set or that set or that set. It should never be so important to you to get that specific outcome with that specific girl. Just practice your game. You're practicing for the long term. You're practicing to improve your game over the long term. And your statistics will just get better and better and better and better as you practice. But that comes from putting out a good vibe. Okay. Not being caught up in the matrix of emotions. The emotions in this game are always pulling at you and pushing at you. When you play chess, you don't have that. When I'm playing this game, I feel the emotions, and they're pushing at me and pulling at me. They're motivating me, right? They're trying to motivate my behavior. Just like when you put your hand on the hot stove and it pushes your hand away, you feel those emotions pushing you. Oh, I feel shy. Oh, I feel embarrassed. Oh, people are looking at me. Oh, I feel validated. I feel devalidated. I feel all these emotions fucking with me, pushing at me and dragging and trying to make me nervous and trying to make my mind go blank and all these things, right? And it can be very hard until you practice and desensitize yourself to all these chemicals in your blood. It can be hard to get used to that. When you play chess, you don't have that. When I'm playing chess, I don't feel these powerful feelings pulling and tugging at me from all directions, saying, oh, quick, get away, run away, or do something quick. I don't feel that. But as soon as I'm playing this game, suddenly I feel that. Because my emotions are wired for this game. My survival and replication are dependent on it. Right? Social dynamics isn't just your replication, it's your survival. Okay? The social alignments that you have greatly determine your status in society. If you know the right people, you can make a lot more money, you can have a lot more status. Okay? So therefore, the reason my emotions are pulling at me in social interactions, it's not just about getting laid, although that's an important piece, but it's also about my survival value. Remember, the boss gives me a nasty look and turns away, and I feel that sinking feeling inside. I just felt a powerful emotion that came from a social cue. I got a social cue, caused me to have a negative emotion, had nothing to do with getting laid, but it still impacted my survival, so I still had an emotional response to it. Okay, we're social animals. Any kind of social interaction is going to cause you to feel emotions, pushing at you, pulling at you, and so on. Okay, so you don't want to get caught up in that emotion. You want to be sort of above the fray. All the emotions are going on around you, but you're unaffected by it. Again, we're talking about the yin energy. We're talking about that ghost. You're a ghost. The monkeys throw shit, it just flies right through. It doesn't touch you. It doesn't affect you.
Do you recommend any mantra or anything like that?
No, not specifically. I do recommend practice, though. Just go out and practice in the field.
So how do you become above your emotions? Just by
Practice.
practice.
Yeah. And it also helps just to recognize what's going on. It helps to recognize, okay, I feel this emotion pulling at me. But that's all it is. It's not God. It doesn't have perfect knowledge. It's just a good statistical chance. And it's trying to help me, but it's doing so in a blind way. You can acknowledge it, but at the same time, you don't want to get caught up in it and let it dictate your behavior.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
most of the time I go out and like I hit on girls, and after like one rejection, like that, like I can't come up to girls anymore. Like it's that feeling I get, and it's just
Yeah.
What should I do?
You should do 3 warm-up sets at the beginning of the night.
What is that?
These are the beginning of the night. Approach 3 girls just to get warmed up.
Well, like if I get rejected, then I'm like
And you're out.
most of the time, yeah. Like that's the biggest thing I need to work on. I just gotta fucking learn how to like take rejections and just smile at them and just walk away.
Here's how I put it. Guys ask me this a lot. They say, how do I avoid rejection? You know? And here's why. We're social animals, right? If you're getting good cues, good social feedback from people, it makes you feel good. If you get negative social feedback, it makes you feel bad. And we're programmed that way for a good reason, right? Remember the example I gave you guys where you go in a ballroom and take a shit on the floor? This actually helps you. Okay, I go into a ballroom, I take a shit on the floor, everyone looks at me, I get bad feelings, bad feedback, bad social feedback. Like, ow, that hurts, bad feelings. I feel embarrassed, I feel stupid, right? That teaches me, and the next time I don't take a shit on the floor in front of everybody, right? That's why we have those emotions built in. We have those emotions built in to protect us and help us learn, ooh, bad feedback, bad behavior. You know, don't do that next time. And next time I'm in a ballroom, I don't shit on the floor. Okay? So, then if I'm getting good feedback from people, like let's say that I just won a prize, and everyone smiles and claps, and I'm getting this good feedback, well, that feels good. So my brain rewards me for that. Oh, good boy, you did something good, do more. So then I go and try and win the next prize. So it helps motivate our behavior in the right way. We take social cues from those people around us. Okay? So that's the same thing with girls. You go up to a girl, and you get this negative validation, this devalidation from her. It feels bad. Okay? If that feeling is so powerful you can't go and talk to another one, then, you know, just discourage that behavior.
Oh.
Huh?
How do I get out of my scene?
The way you do it is you have to desensitize yourself to the emotion. And here's what I tell students. They'll say, how do I avoid a rejection? How do I avoid rejection? And I'd say that the solution is not to avoid rejection as if you care, as if you really care to avoid rejection. The solution is to be okay with it. The solution is when I go up to a girl and I get rejection, to be like, no big deal. Like that yin energy that I've been talking about. You kind of missed some important stuff, but yeah, that's no big deal. But there's this vibe you want to have where you're unaffected. You know?
Just get rejected more.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, the solution is you have to do 3 warm-up sets at the beginning of the night. All of you do, by the way. You go out to a bar, and you're going to get started and start practicing your game. The first thing you need to do is go hit 3 sets just to get warmed up. You want to get in a talkative mood. It's not about being in a confident mood or a romantic mood or an aggressive mood. It's about being in a talkative mood, a playful, talkative mood. Okay? So, I don't care, by the way, if the warm-up set is a girl. You could go up for your first set of the night and open a couple guys just to get talkative, just to get in a talkative state. It's like anything. Like if you play guitar, when you first pick up your guitar, you got to warm up for about 10 minutes before you really start playing the way you can really play. Or doing any kind of athletics, if you do karate or something like that, you have to get warmed up. Same thing with talking. When I first start teaching a seminar, for the first 5 or 10 minutes, I'm a little slow as I get warmed up and I get in the mood, in a talkative state. So it's the same with talking with people socially. If you've been sitting at home all night watching TV or on the internet and you haven't been talking, you're not in a talkative state. So what you do is you go out, you walk in the bar, start talking to this guy. Right, or this group of guys. Hey guys, how's it going? Did you catch the game? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I got to say hi to my friends. Go over here, talk to this guy. Talk to that group of fat girls. Maybe they're less intimidating. So you can go talk to them. You're getting warmed up. You're getting in a talkative state. Then go hit your first set. Then go hit another set and another set.
Maybe he's being too direct, too, kind of putting himself out there too much, whereas what you're saying is just talking to people and just kind of having
Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm trying to get something.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, the bottom line is you have to expose yourself to it. You have to let rejection happen and be cool with it. You know? Some girl says, hey, you fucking weirdo. Be like, okay. You know, cool. You know? Oh, my bad. My bad. See how that vibe I put off? You know? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay? But I mean, the bottom line is, you have to go and do those sets. You have to go do your 3 warm-ups. You have to go and do your 10 sets after that, or 12 sets after that. You have to go do it the next night, and the next night, and the next night, until you're desensitized yourself. I mean, the first set or 2, it can be hard and you feel some rejection. But after you've hit 50 sets, 100 sets, 1,000 sets, you're in a completely different mind space. You just have to force yourself. Just like jumping out of an airplane. The first time you jump out of an airplane, you're going to be a lot more worked up and nervous than the 100th time you jump out of an airplane. And so the bottom line is you just have to push yourself to do it and expose yourself to it over and over and over and over and over again until your motivation comes from all the good experiences you had instead of your fantasy of all the crash and burns, that come up in your mind that fuck with you. You have a question?
Oh, no. Helps me to look at it as being their loss.
Yeah. In my mind, that's actually reactive. It's like, oh, well, it's her loss then, as if you care.
No, I don't say that. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, but again, just thinking that, why do you care whose loss it is? Well, do you even remember that chick? Were you just talking to someone? See what I'm saying? Like, if I talk to some girl and she rejects me, I don't walk away thinking, well, it's her loss anyway. That's sour grapes. Instead I walk away thinking like, oh, look at that girl over there. Oh, look at that painting. See? I'm in my own headspace. I'm not having it dictated to me by some response from some other person. If someone says, whoa, that girl rejected you pretty bad, I'd be like, who? Right? I want to program myself to be in that headspace where I don't care. I don't care enough to think about whose loss it is or whose loss it isn't or whoever lost, whatever. I don't know. I want another beer or whatever. Look at that girl. Hey, what's up, right? That's the headspace you want to be in. You just don't care. You just don't want to care. All right. This I'm going to read. No negative thoughts, statements, or humor. Okay? Sarcasm is sneering, jesting, or mocking at a person. It's a type of verbal irony that's intended to insult or wound. The use of sarcasm is viewed as an expression of concealed anger or annoyance. Okay? So if you act negatively, it shows that you're having negative feelings inside. Okay? Now this is very important. What gives you good feelings and what gives you negative feelings? Now, I've already said anything that could potentially impact your survival and replication in a good way is going to give you good feelings. In a bad way, it's going to give you bad feelings. If I put my hand on a hot stove, I get a bad feeling. If I eat a wedding cake, I get a good feeling. Tastes good. So my body's rewarding me or punishing me based on what's good for me or bad for me. Okay? So remember the example I gave before. Let's say I've got $10 million in the bank. I'm in perfect shape, perfect health, and I just had a blowjob. Okay? Do I have any negative feelings? Probably not. I'm probably full of positive feelings. I'm walking down the street with a skip in my step. I'm like, yeah, I just had a blowjob. I got $1 million, right? You got good feelings. So what does that convey to the people around you? Oh, he's having good feelings. He must be having success in his health, wealth, and relationships. Okay? What if I'm having bad feelings? It conveys I'm having problems in my health, wealth, and relationships. Right? Let's say, for example, I just lost it all in the stock market. I haven't been laid in 2 years, and I'm in really bad shape. And I'm just feeling like, everything that normally makes a person happy is just not there. I've been laid in 2 years, I lost all my money, my car's a piece of shit, bad feeling, bad feeling, bad feeling, bad feeling. So what does that convey to the people around you? If you're in a bar, talking negative, acting negative, feeling negative, oh, he must not have got laid in a while. He must not be doing very well financially, right? Whatever, the things that normally should make me feel good, I'm not getting them and I'm feeling bad. Okay? You see how this conveys to everyone around you? By acting happy and playful and fun and in a good mood, it doesn't just convey a good mood. It conveys success. It conveys success in your health and your wealth and relationships. And if you're acting like you're in a bad mood, it doesn't just convey you're in a bad mood. It conveys that you have failed and lost something in those areas of life that are important. Like, does she want a guy who's a failure at work? Does she want a guy who hasn't been laid in 2 years or can't get girls? Right? When she thinks about it that way, she says, oh, negative feelings from this guy. He must be feeling bad. Is that the guy who just had a blowjob? See how it ruins your own pre-selection? Like, it destroys your own value. Make sense? Okay? So this is why I want you to understand that by having bad feelings, you're actually conveying that you failed financially or with women. You're actually telling her, I haven't been laid in a year. That's what you're telling her by having bad feelings. By complaining about things, by being pissy or resentful, or using sarcasm, or just, acting like you're not happy. What you're telling her is that you don't get laid, you don't have any money, and you're probably in poor health or something. And if you're acting in a good mood and you're happy all the time, and you're relaxed and playful and fun, what you're really conveying to her is that I get laid whenever I want to. That's why I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy guy, therefore I probably get laid all the time. Yes?
Playful sarcasm's okay though, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, I remember there's an example, you're a nurse. Oh, my ex-girlfriend was a nurse. I can't talk to you anymore.
It's like,
that's still sarcastic. But
ultimately, the meaning of any communication is a response that you get. So if I said something that may have been logically sarcastic, and she had a good feeling, right? Then it was good. If I said something and she got a bad feeling, then it was bad. You can take the same phrase and say it a different way. And in one case, it comes off like you're in a great mood. In one case, it comes off like you're in a bad mood. If you're in a bad mood, why is that? Haven't been laid lately? Did you just get fired? Right? If people get in a bad mood because of frustrations and annoyances and losses of value, that's what causes people to have bad feelings. When people have successes and happiness and higher value, they get good feelings in general. Again, this is statistical, right? There's always the, rich guy who's depressed or whatever. But if you look at it statistically, people with more money tend to be happier. People who get more girls tend to be happier. So therefore, for the girl, it's a very useful indicator to her. Say, oh, he's a happy guy, he probably gets girls more. She's not thinking that logically, she's feeling it emotionally. Oh, attractive guy. Okay? So here's what I'm telling you. The bottom line is about this whole thing about negative feelings, not having negative feelings, is that it actually conveys higher or lower value. It causes you to get more or less attraction. Okay? So, part of the yin energy is not having bad feelings, not putting out a bad mood. I want you smiling, laughing, and dancing the whole time you're in the bar. The whole fucking time. Okay? Here's me in a bar. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'll kind of dance around like this and shit. I'll actually dance. I'll be standing in the bar and I'll kind of dance. I'll be laughing and I'll talk to people. I'll touch people. I'm very loose and comfortable and I look happy and fun. Okay? If I walk around with a black cloud over my head, it's not good. I'm telling you, when you're in a good vibe and a good mood and you're always smiling, always laughing, always dancing, people get attracted to you. They'll get sucked in. They want to be part of that vibe. You get attracted to that higher energy and they want to be part of it. Okay? I'm not doing it because I'm reacting to someone else. I'm doing it because I'm in a good headspace and I'm feeling great. And people want to be next to that. They want to feel it rub off on them. Okay? Now the yang energy. Okay, so the yin energy is being unaffected by things, right? Not reacting to things, like being a ghost. And the yang energy is putting out a strong, positive, charismatic vibe. Okay? Here's the way Juggler puts it. He says that when you turn your energy towards someone, and you rain down the warmth of your charisma on that person, they should feel like they're in this warm, bright sunlight. Like they're laying in a meadow, surrounded by green trees, and there's this warm, golden yellow sun shining down upon you. Okay? And that they should feel like when you turn your attention away, they just got left in cold shadow. Okay? So when I talk to someone, I want to be engaging, I want to be charismatic, I want to be warm and friendly, I want to make them feel good. I want just the charisma of my presence to just rain down on you, to just feel so good, to where when I turn my attention away, you feel left in the cold. Okay? Now you might say, well, Chris, are you reacting? No, I'm like that with everybody. It's not some reaction that I have to this person because she's hot. Right? It's just, I'm a charismatic person. I'm a warm, friendly, happy, charismatic person. I want her to feel that. I want her to feel that warm, friendly, happy, funny charisma. I want her to feel the good feelings from being around me. To where if I get distracted by some other girl, right, she feels left in the cold and she wants to get it back. I'm not trying to punish her. I can't give everyone my attention at the same time. Sorry, it feels so good. Okay? So what are some of the aspects of this yang energy? Okay. Being proactive instead of reactive. Adding value to the vibe with no expectation of outcome. Okay? When I go into a set and I give good feelings and a good vibe out to these people, I'm not doing it because I'm trying to get something. I'm just doing it to add value to the vibe. That's what I do. I'm a giver. I go in and I just add good feelings. Well, what are you trying to get? Nothing. I'm not trying to get anything. I'm just trying to add. I'm just adding good vibe. That's it. Just adding good feelings. I'm adding value to the interaction. Okay? I'll tell a funny story. I'll make someone feel good about themselves. Hey, you're looking good. You know, I like those shoes. Oh, did you guys hear this story? What happened to me last week? Okay? I'm just adding to the vibe. I might be sitting there in set, talking to this girl, talking to that girl, and I say, you know, the funniest thing happened to me last week. I was in the W Hotel in New York, and I'm sitting there eating lunch, and the waiter comes by. And I said, hey man, can I get the check? And he said, it's already been taken care of. And the girls look at me and they're like, well, who paid for it? Who took care of it? I said, you know, the funniest thing is he wouldn't tell me. I thought, you know, it must be one of my friends fucking with me or something. So I started to look around, and I don't see anyone I recognize, you know. I see some couples, and I see some business lunches, and then I see this one guy smiling at me from across the room. Kind of just got this funny look on his face looking at me. And, yeah, I don't really know what to do. I mean, this never happens to me, so I just went over there. And I said, hey, man, look, you know, I really appreciate it. I'm really flattered, you know, but it's not going to happen. You know, I'm not gay. You know, I got to go here in a minute. And he looks at me right in the face and he says, I have no idea what you're talking about. It was so embarrassing. All right. Okay. Now, if I tell that story in a set, the girls are going to laugh. Does it come off like I'm trying to get something? Does it come off like I have an agenda? Am I dependent on an outcome? No, I'm just putting a good vibe out there. I'm adding value. I'm being proactive and creative and fun. I'm adding value to the vibe with no expectation of getting something in return. I'm not trying to get something. I'm just adding value. Warm sunlight, warm sunlight, warm sunlight. It's that Care Bear stare, right? The way I described it. The Care Bear stare. Here, just take it. It feels so good. You know? Oh, I get distracted. Oh, wait. What were you telling me about the little dog with the whatever the fuck? Okay?
Are those stories made up, some of them true, some of them made up, whatever you feel like telling?
Yeah, whatever. Most of the time, I don't even have to use a canned story at all. I just be myself, right? Instead of trying to say this story or that story, I'm just putting out the attitudes, putting out the vibe. Put out just this good, positive, warm, fun vibe, and then I start getting IOIs. So I start doing compliance tests. I just start playing the game. I don't have it necessarily have to use memorized scripts to do it. I'm just using my personality. There are a lot of people, it's funny because, you know, the stuff that's been in the game, Neil's book, a lot of people freaked out, like, oh no, you ruined it for everybody. People are going to find out about our secret routines. And same thing with TV. Mystery going on a TV show. All these people are scared that somehow the secret's out and it's going to be ruined. You know, no girl's ever going to catch me. I'll be in a bar talking to some girl. You know, here's all I'm ever going to get. He's so fun. He's so cool. Right? I don't use some canned routine that she saw on TV. I'm just being myself. Okay? But I'm putting out the right vibes. I'm not being needy. I'm not being try-hard. You know, I'm unaffected. I'm unreactive. But I'm putting out warm, fun charisma. I'm getting IOIs, getting indicators of interest. Okay? So I do some compliance tests. I start making her work for it. Reward, good girl. Push off to create comfort. Come back. Compliance test again. Reward, good girl. Isolate, lock in. Right? These things are never going to change. No girl's going to be able to see what I'm doing and figure out, oh, you're a pickup artist. It's not going to happen. Okay, so there's the next thing. I put adding value to interactions. Spreading good emotions and interesting conversation. That's it. Right? I'm not trying to get something. I'm just adding value to the vibe. Value, value, value. Take it. I'm not an emotional leech. I'm not an energy vampire. Okay, I'm one of these guys who's just a giver. I'm just adding this fun to the vibe, just for your enjoyment. So you want to be around me, etc. Taking the lead without being pushy. Okay, let me say something else about adding value to the vibe. Contrast this with the interview. Okay, when I'm adding value to the vibe, what's going on is I'm keeping the interaction going. I'm keeping the interaction going by adding value. Add value, oh yeah, we're having fun. It goes for another 2 minutes. Add more value, keeps having fun, goes for another minute or two, right? Keeps going and going and going. And I'm adding value. Okay? Now imagine for a second, contrast this with the interview. So, what do you do? So, where are you from? Okay, when I say so, what do you do? What kind of good emotions does that give her? Nothing. It's a factual question, I get a factual answer. I'm a nurse. So, where are you from? I'm from Montana. So do you like dogs or cats? Like I don't even care, right? I just want to keep talking to her because I'm so desperate. That's why I'm doing the interview. I have nothing cool to say, nothing fun or interesting to say. I'm not putting out a good vibe. It's a false lead, right? I'm keeping the interaction going. Another minute, another couple questions, another minute, another couple questions. Okay? So in one case, I'm forcing the interaction along, but without adding value. I'm expecting her to do the work. So what do? Now she's supposed to do the heavy lifting. I'm like a drain on her. I'm coming up to her, draining her energy. Make sense?
So how do you add value without making it sound like an interview question?
Okay, what about the story I just told?
Okay.
Hey, I was eating lunch at the W and the waiter comes by. Right? Notice I didn't ask any of you a fucking thing. I didn't ask you anything. But I told a fun story. You were all sort of hanging on what was coming next and you all laughed.
Yeah, but that was, you have to come in with an opener or something, right? I mean, you can't just start walking in with a conversation like that.
It doesn't have to be anything canned. Does that make sense? I mean, think about that question to yourself. You can't talk to people unless it's canned, right? Is that true? But if I'm really putting out a good vibe and I'm fun, I'm going to say something that's going to be funny. I didn't have to necessarily pre-memorize it.
You go
Okay?
situational?
You could go situational, but actually I don't like that either because it's try hard. So, nice weather we're having, huh? It's like, so, I really want to talk to you and I can't think of anything else. Okay? Okay, now understand though, I'm not saying don't use canned material. Canned material is useful. It's definitely great for practice because it'll get you out there. It'll give you something to say so that you can practice. So you can practice your delivery, practice your vibe, start getting good responses from girls, have 100 good sets, 1,000 good sets, right? And you get to the point where you don't have to use canned material anymore, or you can just use it where it's a useful tool, not because it's a crutch. Okay, but what I'm saying now is don't use it as a crutch. You can use it now for training wheels, right? It gives you something to say so your mind doesn't go blank. You can go in, you got a guaranteed opener, right? I'm going to talk to those girls, what am I going to say? I'll use this tried and true opener. So I'll run in, run the opener, it's guaranteed to work. Now put some openers on your handout. Okay? Well, so I'm not saying that it's not useful or it's not good. What I'm saying is that it's not. All right, some more of the yang energy. Being fun, being exciting, being humorous, being crazy, a little crazy, risk-taking. What does it mean that if you won't take a risk? It means that you're scared of the consequences. Right? For example, let's say there's a girl and you're attracted to her and you don't go up and talk to her. She'll immediately think that you're chicken, that you view her as higher than yourself. Okay? That's what girls think. They'll be like, oh, he must be gay or he's scared of me. He's scared because I'm hotter than him. That's what she'll think. You actually lower your value by not approaching. If I see a girl and I don't approach her, what I just told her was that I'm scared to. What, you don't want me? Or unless you're chicken. That's the way she's going to interpret it. Okay? So when you see a girl and you want to approach her, you actually have to go up and approach her just not to lose your value. It looks like you chickened out. Okay? Look at it. If I go and approach her, it's like a risk. I'm facing rejection. I could get rejected. Okay? If I don't approach her, it shows her that I'm scared of rejection. I'm not willing to take the risk because I'm afraid of the consequences. Okay? But if I walk right up to her and say, hey, how's it going? You having fun tonight? Okay? And I just start talking, go to the next thing. what happened here is that by taking the risk, it shows that I'm not scared about the consequences. I'm not concerned about the consequences. So I was willing to go up and say something and take the risk. Okay, so be a risk taker is attractive. This is the yang energy. Playful, escalate, making things happen. That's your job as the man, is to make things happen. Yes?
You still eyebrow the 3 second.
Yes. Yang energy. Escalate, make things happen. That's your job as the man.
So escalation, if she, say she resists escalation.
That's fine. That's her job. Okay? See, here's the critical point. Let's say that I go to escalate, right? And I get rejection. Okay? What do I do next? Huh? I'll tell you what I do. I escalate again. That's my job. Right? It's my job to be the escalator, to make things happen. So if I go and escalate on a girl, she rejects me. Okay? You notice when I escalate, that's the yang. Escalate, that's the yang. Oh, she rejects me? No big deal. That's the yin. Then what do I do next? I escalate again. That's the yang. That's my job. Right? Remember, I said the yin and the yang have to always be true. They both have to always be true. So if part of your job is to escalate, be fun and playful and make things happen, that doesn't suddenly change just because you got some weird response from someone. I get a weird response, it passes through me like a ghost. Then I come through and escalate again, more warm sunlight. Get a weird response, no big deal, passes through me like a ghost. More warm sunlight, escalate again. Okay? This is important. She actually needs to reject me a few times to make herself feel safe. Think about it. What if she rejects me and I go, fuck you then, you fucking bitch! And I'll fucking kill you, huh? Right? That's scary. Okay? She doesn't know how I'm going to respond. Okay, but what if this happens? What if I go to escalate on her and she rejects me and I'm cool with it? No big deal. Whatever. It's cool. Okay? Now next time I come escalate, she feels more safe because she knows, hey, if he hits my comfort threshold, if I resist, I know he's going to be cool. Right? I feel more safe with this guy. He was cool. Right? The other guy flipped out. Now I don't feel safe around him. You know, I'm not going to be alone in a room with him. I don't know what he might do. But this guy, he brought me up to my comfort threshold. He felt the resistance. He's cool, no big deal. So I know next time he's going to be cool. So now I can relax and allow more to happen. Because if I ever start to feel like it's too much, I'll just resist. Oh, it's cool again, no big deal. Okay? And she doesn't feel like she's going to lose something because she knows that I'm going to come back and escalate again. That's my job. So I come back and escalate again. Maybe I push her comfort a little bit more. She feels safe, so she lets it happen. Well, you know, I feel safe with this guy. I know that if he feels resistance, he'll stop. And I know that he's going to come back again. You know, so she's not risking losing you. So that allows her to relax and say, okay, well, we'll see whatever happens here. Maybe I start escalating her more, and I get more and more, and she starts to feel that comfort threshold again. So she puts resistance. That's cool, no big deal. There's the yin. Then I come back with the yang again and escalate again. She knows, well, last time he was cool. He didn't react. You know, he didn't make me feel bad. He come back and escalate. So here he comes again. He's cool. Yeah, escalate again. So actually, having the girl push you away and reject you, and you being cool with it, and it's no big deal to you, that's what lets you get farther with her when you escalate again. I'm going to talk about this a lot more on day 3.
So lead without being pushy?
Yeah.
Pushy part is what? Is getting mad or?
Yeah, pushy is like you're trying to get something. Like you care too much. You want it too bad. As opposed to, you know, whatever. I escalate. Well, I'm a man. That's my job. I'll escalate. Okay?
So when do you give out your days?
We're not at that stage yet.
Can you give an example of escalation, for example?
Huh?
Can you give an example of escalation?
Making things happen. You know, like, let me see your hand. Right? So I'm escalating a little bit.
Okay.
You know, if you're like, no, I don't want you to see my hand. It's like, okay, it's all right, no big deal. Right? If I'm like, well, fuck you then. Right? Now what happens when I try and get compliance? Now you're scared. I don't know what this guy's going to do. Right? But if I say, let me see your hand, you're like, I don't know. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Right? Next time when I say, let me see your hand, you probably feel more safe. Right? I'm going to go over Kino escalation probably tomorrow, all the physical moves of like getting physical with a girl. Okay? So here's some more examples of the yang energy. Having a positive outlook. We talked about that already. If you're in a good frame of mind, then it probably means good things are happening in your life. Introduce people around. Be the guy who introduces everyone to everyone else. You meet some cute hot girl, introduce her to the cool guy you just met. Oh, you should meet this guy Brad, he's really cool. See, most guys, they get insecure about that. They're like, oh, I don't want her to talk to him. What if he talks to her instead of me? Okay? But I'm a giver. I want to introduce that girl to as many guys as I can, to as many girls as I can. I meet some cool guy. Oh, you should meet my new friend. This is Lacey. This is Jenna. Jenna's really sweet. She's from Montana. Right? Be the one who introduces as many people to as many other people in the bar. You are going to be the most social guy in the bar, right? Don't have a poverty mentality. Have an abundance mentality. Okay? Give people props. Make people feel good about themselves. Oh, dude, that's a cool jacket. You look really good. Did you just get your hair done? Did you lose weight? See what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make myself look better. Oh, I just got my hair done. You like it? Instead, I'm trying to make other people feel better. Because when people feel good around me, they want to be around me more. When I turn away, they feel left in cold shadow. Okay? Give people props. Okay? Show that you're genuinely and sincerely happy. Give them some sincere appreciation. All these other people are trying to make themselves look better, and you're the one person who makes other people look better, who makes other people feel better. That should be the vibe that they get off of you. Okay? Be genuine and authentic. Okay? Alright. So that's the vibe. Now really quick, I'm going to go over delivery. I'm going to try to get in before Colin has to leave. So delivery comes down to three main components. Your facial expressions, your voice tonality, and your body language. Okay? You want your facial expressions and your vocal tonality and your body language to be emotionally expressive. You want people to feel the emotions of what you're saying. In speed seduction, they have the watermelon exercise. Anyone here familiar with that? What they do is they take a word like watermelon and they'll say it with different emotions. Say watermelon really happy. Say it really sad. Say it with anticipation. Say it with fear. Say it with excitement, right? Watermelon. Say it with boredom. Watermelon. Resignation, right? Watermelon. Excitement. Watermelon. Okay? Arousal or attraction. Watermelon. Huh? Okay? Whenever you're speaking, you want the look on your face and the sound of your voice to express the emotions of what you're saying. And it should always be expressing these emotions. Anticipation, right? So I'm sitting there eating lunch, and the waiter comes by. And I said, hey, can I get the check? He said, it's already been taken care of. So that builds that little curiosity that, what? I look around, I don't see anyone I recognize. What I'm doing there is I'm building anticipation. So I look around, and I don't see anyone I recognize. I'm also being a little conspiratorial. Because as I'm going to teach you on day 3, conspiracy builds connection. So by creating a conspiracy between me and the girl, I'm creating a connection between me and the girl. Okay, so when I act a little conspiratorial, I'm making her feel connected to me. So I look around, and I don't see anyone I recognize. I see some couples and some business lunches. And then I see this guy staring at me from across the room. Right? I'm giving her that feeling of, oh my God. Right? It's a little embarrassment, a little weird. So what did you do? What did you do? I'm building anticipation. So I went over there and I said, look, man, I really appreciate it. I'm really flattered. See, I'm pausing. Sometimes I'm louder, sometimes I'm more quiet. So I go over there. I say, look, man, I feel really flattered. Okay? What I'm doing here is right in the moment where she's about to get the big payoff, I drop my voice and I step back. Okay? That makes her lean in. What I'm doing is I'm making her react to me. Okay? Think about this again. So I walk right up to him, and I look him in the face. And I say, all right, look, man. Okay? Right at that moment where she's like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm dropping my voice quiet, and I'm stepping back. Okay? She's like leaning in. She moves in. Huh? What? Right? I'm getting her moving towards me, facing her body towards me, leaning into me, hanging on my every word. I use pauses to create response, attentiveness. She's hanging on my every word, wants to hear what's going to come next. Okay? Men tend to speak logically. They tend to use this logical delivery. What I want you guys to do is I want you to speak emotionally. I want you to speak in terms of sensation and emotion. Let me give you an example to contrast this. Let's say that I say something factual, such as, so I'm standing in this bar and this guy grabs my ass. A guy grabbed my ass. That's how I would say that to a man. Talking to a man, I was in this bar and this fucking guy grabbed my ass. Okay? Is that emotionally compelling? No. What is emotionally compelling? Is if I describe it in terms of sensation and emotion. So I'm standing there at the bar, and you know sometimes when someone's watching you, you feel the eyes drilling in the back of your head, you almost feel the hairs on your neck start to stand up a little bit, you know that feeling? And all of a sudden I feel this powerful grip of this big hand squeezing my ass. Alright? And so I slowly turn, and right there's this man's face. Like, I shit you not, a few inches from my face. He's got this big mustache and this day-old stubble with a little sweat on his chin. And these piercing blue eyes, like that close to my face. Okay? Alright, now I hear a few chuckles here and there. Do you guys notice that you're feeling more than when I just said, some guy grabbed my ass? Okay? Because I'm building into it sensation. I felt this. I saw this. I felt this. I turned. Oh my God. Like emotion, physical sensation, emotion, physical sensation. Picture, feeling. Picture, feeling. Instead of this happened. Fact. It's not fact. It's emotion, sensation, reaction, sensation, emotion, emotion. See what's going on? Describe all your things that way. Always describe in stories in terms of sensation and emotion. And I want you to put those emotions into your face and into your voice. Okay, just like the watermelon exercise. I want you to tell your stories. You want it to be a little anticipation there? Use anticipation. You know, put it into your voice. Practice speaking that way. You know, I saw this girl and she was hot. Okay? What if I said, I saw this girl and she was so hot? Right? I'm putting that attraction into my voice. Because I want the person who's listening to feel it. Okay? You want to be really expressive with your facial expressions and your vocal tonality. You don't want to be overly expressive because then you'll come off gay. You'll come off like a gay guy. Okay? Hey guys, how's it going? I see you girls look like you're having fun tonight. Are you gay? Okay? I used to make that mistake. I would be overly expressive and girls would think I was gay. Okay? For you guys, I actually want you to do this. I want you to be overly expressive and push it to the point where you're hitting the gay line. When girls start asking you if you're gay, okay, now you know you went a little too far. Fine. Now you can calibrate back down. Here's the problem. Almost every student has a problem where their vocal tonality is too flat and their face is too blank. I'll deal with blank faces and flat voices and factual statements. It's very boring and it's not very stimulating at all. Okay? And so, for most students, what feels normal to them is really nowhere near enough. And where they need to be feels like too much because they're not accustomed to it. Make sense? And so, I want you to push yourself and be more expressive to where it feels like too much. Because you're probably not accustomed to where it needs to be. Where it needs to be probably feels like too much. So normally you wouldn't step outside of your comfort zone. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to push yourself and be a little overly expressive with your face and your voice and just really hook them in with your delivery. Okay? I want you to be overly expressive. You can always calibrate back down. If you push it too hard, no big deal. You'll hook better anyway. The sets will hook much better anyway. Okay? The gay guy, they fucking love it. Are you gay? They hook like crazy. Okay? Again, this is why I'm telling you this on the first day. Because this is really going to help you hook sets. If you're really expressive, the sets are going to hook like crazy. Okay? So it's a good thing. Do it. Like, this is one of the big secrets to getting really good hooks. When you're really expressive, they just fucking love it. Okay? If you're pushing it too far, fine. Over a few 5, 10 sets, 50 sets or whatever, you'll figure out where that line is. You'll find out where that buzzer is, and you'll be like, okay, that's a little too far. I can tell from the feedback I'm getting to not be that expressive, but almost. Okay? And you'll naturally calibrate right to where you need to be. To start off, you need to kind of push yourself. Okay? All right, and it's a good thing. Like I said, sets will hook better anyway, so why not, right? You're going to get way better responses, way more hooks. It's worth it. Be overly expressive. Okay, the next thing is to speak with pauses and a certain rhythm. Don't just say what you're going to say. Say it with pauses and put a certain rhythm into what you're saying. Okay?
What do you mean rhythm?
Like, you just don't want to speak in a flat meter like this. You don't just want to say, hey, how's it going? I'm Chris. What are you guys doing? Right? Instead, I might say, hey, how's it going? I'm Chris. How are you guys doing? I'm putting pauses, and I'm speaking with a rhythm. So Mystery does an exercise where he'll take whatever you say, and he'll say it cooler. Okay? It's like one of you, whoever, say something.
I work tomorrow.
I got work tomorrow. Someone else?
I have to go to the gas station.
I gotta go to the gas station. I have to go to the gas station. Okay? One of the tricks here, and this is, I'm going to give you guys, there's two main tricks to Mystery's delivery that sucks people in like crazy. One of them is he speaks very slow, very rhythmic with pauses. And the next thing is that he acts very enthusiastic about what he's saying. Okay? So Mystery has this quote where he says, be interesting. He puts it in quotes. Be interesting, Mystery. And I used to misinterpret this. I used to say to myself, be interesting. And I would judge everything I said as if it was interesting enough or not interesting enough. I'll be about to say something. I'll be like, oh, is that interesting enough? No, it's not interesting. I'll say this. So is that no, that's not interesting either. And I started second guessing myself. You know, to where I wasn't saying anything. I was scared to say something. Then I realized it has nothing to do with what you're saying. What you're saying doesn't have to be interesting at all. It could be the stupidest shit. What's important is that Mystery talks about it like it's so cool. He'll act enthusiastic. There's another quote from Mystery. Enthusiasm is contagious. Right? So here's how he'll do it. He'll just pick anything, whatever he wants to talk about, and he'll just talk about it like it's the coolest shit. Like, look at the stars. Aren't they cool, right? Like, cool, yeah, the stars, whatever. But Mystery, he'll be like this. He'll be like, bro, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Look at all of these stars. There's billions of them. And if you really think about it, we got one nearby, and a few others scattered around, in a cloud of billions of stars in the galaxy. And then there's billions of those. There's billions of them. Right? I'm like, okay, Carl Sagan. You know, but he talks like it's so cool. He does this to add situational relevance to his bragging. He wants to brag about something, he'll act really enthusiastic about it to add situational relevance. For example, hey, I'm the guy with the Lambo parked outside. I just thought you should know. But okay, you just sound like a braggart. You say that. But if he goes, bro, did you see the Lamborghini I brought here tonight? I mean, seriously though, how cool is that? That is a $250,000 car. How cool is that? Okay? Bro, think about this. I mean, think about this for a second. I'm on TV. I'm on VH1. Isn't that cool? I mean, seriously, isn't that cool, eh? 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 Love drop? Love drop.
Yeah, it's cool.
Love drop. Isn't that cool? I know. Huh? Okay. See, if he's coming in just trying to make himself look cool, then it makes him look bad. It makes him look like he's bragging. Hey, look at my car, look at my TV show, whatever. It makes him look bad. Okay? Oh, he doesn't actually have a Lambo, of course, by the way. You know? But what if he really is experiencing this great, genuine vibe, and he's really sincerely just trying to share it with you? You're like, seriously, bro, I mean, isn't that awesome? I really feel this really good vibe. And I'm just genuinely trying to share it with you. I'm trying to give you a good vibe too. And we can share it together. I mean, think about how cool it is together. You know? So by taking something that's normally bragging, but acting like it really is so amazingly cool, and I'm going to genuinely share that feeling with you, now he's added situational relevance to his bragging so that it comes off like vibing instead of bragging, and it raises his value instead of lowering it. Okay? Now, Matador and I kind of figured this out from Mystery like a year or two ago. We were in Australia on tour with him and doing some programs, and we kind of figured out, we're like, wait a second, all the stuff he says is stupid. It's all stupid. We're like, it's just the way he talks. It's just how he talks. That's it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to test this. I'm going to go out. I'm going to say the stupidest shit, but I'm going to say it like it's so cool and see how people respond to me. So I'll be sitting in a bar, and you know Australia is part of the British Commonwealth, so they have the British Queen on their money. So I act like a complete idiot, right? I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I hold up like one of their bills, and there's the Queen, and I go, look at this. Australia has a queen. And they'd be like, yeah. You know? Yeah, that's right. I'd be like, you know, I just went to England recently. Did you know in England they also have a queen? And they'd be like, yeah, but it's actually the same queen. Yeah, pufta. Right? It's a same queen. I suck at my Australian accent. And I'd be like this. I'd be like, yeah, I know. Yeah, it is basically the same thing. I mean, they've got their Buckingham Palace. You've got your Buckaroo Palace or whatever it is. But I mean, it really is the same thing, right? I mean, it's basically just inbred rich people passing on their money to their inbred rich offspring, right? And I would get these people into these conversations where they'd be like, no, it's a Sime Queen! You know, but the point is that I go out that night and I start delivering like Mystery. Whatever stupid shit. Like, that's the point, is to deliberately pick something stupid just to prove to yourself that it really is just a delivery. And people get sucked in. They get sucked in. Okay? I'm telling you right now, this could be like the biggest breakthrough you have in your game at all. Okay? It doesn't really matter what you say. What matters is that you say it slowly, with pausing and emotion and enthusiasm, like it's the coolest shit. Whatever it is that you're talking about. Okay? I mean, for all you know, I'm saying stupid shit right now. But it just sounds cool. Okay? I mean, if you guys go out tonight and practice, just go up with a fun, happy vibe and a smile on your face, in a good mood, chill and relaxed, and act enthusiastic about what you're saying, like you're trying to sincerely share good feelings with people. Okay? So, be very emotionally expressive with your face and your voice. Speak slowly, about a third the speed that you think you should. Okay? So if you say, hey, I'm going to go out tonight and practice, be like, hey, bro, I'm going to go out tonight and practice. I want you to speak that slow. Okay? This is one of those things where I have to tell students over and over again. I'll be like, speak slowly, speak slowly, speak slowly. Then they go out in the field and they're all nervous and they're like, oh, hey, how's it going? I want to ask you a female opinion. Did you date someone who's still friends with their ex or whatever? I'm like, dude, I swear to God, slow it down. This one guy, I had to tell him probably 5 times, I'm like, way too fast. Way too fast. Trust me, it's got to be a lot slower than you think. And it's one of the primary core secrets that Mystery has. Like one of the primary core pieces of his game is speaking really slowly. Really slowly. Okay? It has a hypnotic effect on people. I'm telling you. It's way more powerful than you think. We call it warping. He's mind warping. Like people, it's like their eyes start spinning, and they're like, nee, and they just kind of focus in, and they don't even hear what you're saying anymore, but they're looking at you, they're reacting to you, and not anyone else. It's hypnotic. It's like the snake from Jungle Book. Okay? It's like that. Very, very powerful to speak extremely slowly with a certain rhythm, and to act enthusiastic about what you're saying, and put the emotional delivery into whatever it is that you're talking about. Okay? Body language. No leaning in. Don't ever lean in. Okay, these are actually the two big things. Speaking too fast and leaning in. Everyone does it. This is the number one mistake that every student has. Speaking too fast and leaning in. Okay? So if there's anything that you get out of this seminar just from today, do not lean in. Lean back. I want your weight on your back foot. I want one foot in front, one foot in back, kind of apart. Right? Let's say I'll do this. Got my feet apart. I move one back. Put my weight on that foot. Okay? Here's what I always see. I always see students putting their weight on the front foot. They always lean in. God, it pisses me off. Because I'll tell them over and over again, don't do that, lean back, right? And then they go in the set, and like they can walk up right to the set, and they're like, hey guys, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, I don't care what you just said, because you just blew yourself out with your body language. Out. That fast. No. Right, if the girl's face is here where my fist is, okay, if I'm leaning into her, or leaning back, it's only a few inches difference, right? What happens is you get this feeling like she won't be able to hear me. Like feels like you should lean in. And what will happen is you'll go to lean in to talk, and you'll see her go like this. You'll see her do this thing. If she starts moving back in any way, you leaned in. If you lean in really bad, she'll go like this. I see it. I see students that go up to the girls, and the girls are like that. Okay? I'm telling you right now, she should be leaning into you. If she's not, you're not leaning back enough. Okay? One student, I told him over and over again, he wouldn't do it. He kept leaning in. Finally, I come up behind him, grab his shirt, and I pull him back. He's like that. As soon as I did it, the girls leaned up into him. The girl comes up on him. She puts her hands on his chest. She goes, huh? Like that. Like after the set was over, he looks at me. He's like, she leaned into me. I've never had that happen before. I'm like, I'm sure you never have had that happen before. Why would she ever lean into you when you're leaning into her? She's always doing this. Right? Okay? I want her leaning up. I want her moving towards you. I want her leaning into you. I want her saying, what was that? Okay? Let's say she couldn't hear you. You say, so blah, 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 blah. She goes, what was that? Well, come in a little closer if you can't hear me. I'm not moving in. Right? Okay? Or here's what I'll do. I'll do it to her. I'll say something, then she'll say something, and I'll go, what was that? Uh-huh. And then let her lean in. Let her react. Let her be the one to react. Okay? I want her leaning into you. I want her touching your chest. I want her trying to whisper in your ear. Okay? If you're not getting that, then your delivery's fucked up and you're leaning in. I'll tell you right now. Okay? I guarantee you right now, if you have a nice loud voice and you use pauses and enthusiasm and emotion and you lean back, she will be all up on you. And then when I start to drop my voice during the climax of my story or whatever, she'll lean even more to hear it. What? I want her chasing me. I want her working for me. I want her leaning into me. I want her reacting to me. Okay? Now remember, if someone's facing me with their body language and I'm not facing them, then they're seeking rapport with me and I'm not seeking rapport with them. Okay? Okay. So let's say there's someone standing here facing me. They're facing me. I'm facing away. I'm not facing this person. I'm not seeking rapport with him. He is seeking rapport with me. He's reacting to me. I'm not reacting to him. I have higher value. He has lower value. Okay? So given that I know that, why would I ever walk up to someone and face them? Like, let's say that, even worse, I face their side. Maybe the person's facing away, and I come up and I face their side. Now, I'm looking at his side, but he's looking away. I'm reacting to him. He's not reacting to me. I'm lower value than him. He's higher value than me. Why would I ever do that? Okay? Well, if you don't know any better, if you're just out in the bar and you see some girl, you turn to face her, it's on instinct. Your emotions are moving you. You're not consciously aware of why your body turned this way and why your feet are pointing towards that girl. Okay? But she will get this subtle feeling like you're a loser. So given that I know that's the case, when I go to open a girl, I'll open over the side. I'll have her facing me. I will deliberately arrange it so that she's facing me and I'm looking over my shoulder at her. So it looks like she's reacting to me and I'm not reacting to her. I just give her the minimal reaction. Okay? Now as she hooks, she leans in, she touches, whenever I'm getting IOIs, then I turn to face her as a reward. My attention is not given away like a beggar. My attention is a reward. Okay? So, I open the set over my shoulder. Blah, blah, fucking blah, blah. I start getting IOIs. I reward. I turn and reward. Okay? If I can tell that she's starting to get hesitant, or I'm starting to get a little IODs, or she's starting to turn away a little bit, I have to turn away too. Okay, it's right in that moment when a lot of guys might get desperate. You might feel desperate. You're like, hope she'll turn back, hope she'll turn back. No, she turned away, you turn away. You can talk to her over your shoulder. Okay? And when she sees that high value demonstration, then she turns back because she's attracted to high value. Then I reward that. See what's going on? You guys could almost even play a game where you pair off, and you have one guy turn away and the other guy has to turn away too. And then when this guy turns back, you turn back as well. Make sense? Here's an even deeper example. Here's a deeper example. Mystery will do this thing where he's smoking a cigarette, and he hands it to the girl. It's a compliance test to see if she'll take his cigarette and put it in her mouth. That's a compliance test. He's testing for where is she right now. What's the ping here? Ping pong. Where is she? Now think about this for a second. If I hold out the cigarette to her and she doesn't take it, and then I punish, turn my back, it comes off reactive. Okay? Like, here, take the cigarette. No, that's okay. I turn my back. Looks like I just reacted. Makes me look pissy. Okay? What if I do this instead? What if I'm talking and I hold out the cigarette and I keep talking and I keep talking? I already turned away. Okay? Now if she doesn't take it, I'm already turned away. It doesn't look like it's in reaction to her defiance.
Wait, was it again? I thought you turned away.
Okay? All right, let me do it without the cigarette for a second so you understand. Let's say that I'm talking to a girl. I look at her. Her eyes look at me. I'm talking to her. I keep talking, but I look away as I keep talking. She's looking at me still. Right? This is what mystery does. So I'll be like, you know what, last week I was walking through the park. She's looking at me. I was walking through the park, and I see this bluebird, and blah, blah. She's looking at me. Now, right when I feel like she's about to look away, I'm about to lose it, right? Right at that moment, I look back and hook her again. Hook her back in, and then I turn away and keep talking. Right? Right when she's about to get distracted, I turn and hook her again. Then I look away. Right? So I'm giving her just enough attention to keep her hooked, but no more.
How can you tell when that's going to be?
You just get a vibe for it. I'll tell you, when you do 1,000 sets, you feel it when it's going to happen. You feel it. Okay? So think about this for a second. I give her just enough to keep her hooked, and then I turn away. She's reacting to me. I'm already distracted, but I'm talking about my own thing. I'm in my own world. She's about to look away. I hook her again, pull her back. I keep talking. I'm giving her the minimum attention necessary to keep her hooked so that she's constantly reacting to me and I'm not reacting to her. Okay? Now add the cigarette. I'm talking. I look at her. I hold out the cigarette like, here, puff on this. And I turn away and keep talking. I was hanging out with my friend Sally. We go to the Central Park, walking through the park. And I see this bluebird. I hold it out like, here, smoke this. I see this bluebird, blah, 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 and I'm talking. now she doesn't take it, I'm already turned away. So it doesn't look like I'm reacting. It doesn't look like I'm trying to punish her. Okay? I'm already turned away. Now she does take it, I reward. Right? She does take it, I turn back to her and reward her for compliance. Give her a hug. Push her off. Okay? Another thing I want to point out to you guys is no fidgeting with your body. I used to tap my straw in and out of my glass. Hey, you don't want to do that. It shows nervous energy. I'm expressing nervous energy. I used to do this. I would go into a set tapping my straw. Hey guys, any female opinion? I get blown out. Like, what did I do wrong? But I was nervous. I was tapping. I was fidgety. Okay, and so because of that, I got blown out. Okay, if I'm fidgeting more than her, I'm reacting more than her, I'm lower value than her. It's that simple.
What about eye contact when you enter a set? Should you try to keep it on,
I would engage each person in the set equally.
but not like rapidly?
No. But I got 3 or 4 people. I look at this person, say something, say something, say something. Okay, it's the same thing where you look at them just to keep them hooked.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine all 4 people will get bored at some point. So I talk to you, I feel like I'm about to lose him, I look at him, keep talking. I feel like I'm about to lose him, I look at him, keep talking. Right? Look at him. I'm just making sure that you guys are all hooked. Right? If I'm talking to 4 people, I've got 4 people looking at me, I can only look at one person at a time. So I've definitely got more reaction my way and less reaction going out. Okay? Alright. A lot of guys in the bar try and look tough or look cool. A lot of guys in the bar, they try and look tough or cool or deep. They try and look like the tough guy. They walk through like I'm the tough guy. Okay? I don't want you to try to come off like you're deep or like you have some secret mission that you're on or like you're the big tough guy. I only want you to look like you're in a good mood and you're happy and you're smiling. That's it. You're just in a good mood, playful, fun, happy, smiling, laughing guy. Okay? Do not try and look like the tough guy or the deep guy.
So most of the time you're not facing the girl you're interested in? Most of the time.
Maybe. But let's say, for example, that she's hooking and she's giving me interest. I'm going to reward her for that. Okay? So I'm not saying don't face people. I'm saying that face people as a reward. Don't give it away for free. Don't be a beggar with your attention. Okay? You want to act like she did something that was interesting enough to warrant you looking. Say, oh, wow, cool. Oh, I used to dance ballet. Like, cool, that's cool. My sister was a ballet dancer, whatever. I gave her some attention, but she had to work for it.
Is that A3?
Yeah, that's a idea of A3, yeah. But again, I'm telling you this now in A1. I'm telling you now, do not face the set with your body until they've earned it. I open over my shoulder. As they hook, as they show interest, I reward. That actually is the idea behind A3. Okay, something worthy of reward, then I turn a reward. Okay, and I'm going to get a lot more deep into that when I teach A3. But really, that's a dynamic you want to have always. You always want to place a high price on yourself. You always want it in such a way that you're not giving away for free, but only when they've done something, then I reward. Oh, she hooks, I turn a reward. I might even lean in at the right time as a reward. Right? She says something that I can interpret like it's cool. Oh, I have an art degree. I'm like, really? You have an art degree? See, now I leaned in, but I didn't do it as a beggar. I did it as a reward. I did it because I'm giving something to her. Like, really? That's so cool. That's awesome. Mystery will do that. At the right time when a girl says something, he'll turn to face her. He'll lean into her, whatever. But he doesn't open that way. And that's the critical point that I'm trying to get across here. Okay? You can give attention. You can give interest. What does leaning in show? It shows interest. Really? So do you want to open that way? Do you want to go in and say, hey guys, what a lot of guys do is they go up to the set. They go up to the set and they get to a certain perimeter and they get scared. Right? They're walking up to that perimeter of the set. They get scared, so they stop too far away and they lean in to compensate. Let's say that red dot on the floor is the girl, right? So I might get to here and I stop. Now I feel like I'm too far away. Okay, there was the perimeter there that because I was intimidated, I stopped too soon. So I lean in, so blah, 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 because she's still so far away, it feels weird. Okay? So what I tell students is, I want you to be close. I want you to have your foot in between her legs. Your front foot, but your back foot is where your weight goes. Okay? So my back foot is where my weight goes. I can have my front foot in between her legs, but because I'm leaning back and I'm facing away, she won't feel it. Okay? But on a dime, I can turn and be right there, right close to her, but push away. I have that option. Whereas if I stop over here and I'm leaning in, it looks like I'm showing way too much interest, and then I have to look like I'm moving towards her to get any closer. It's the exact opposite of what I want. What I want you guys to do is walk by, and from the side, open, but have your foot almost like even between your legs, or almost to that point. It can be that close. But as long as you're not facing her and you're leaning back, and you kind of show interest, look away, a little more interest, look away, keep talking, right? This creates comfort. Makes a girl feel very safe that you're doing this. If you look like you're trying to get something, it's scary to her. But if you look like, you can take it or leave it, it doesn't look like you're trying to get something, then she's comfortable and cool and she can allow it to continue. Okay? Alright, body language, energy levels, no leaning in, no direct body language unless she earned it, no fidgeting, hold your drink at your side, not in front of your chest, don't tap your straw in your drink or any other fidgeting, playing with your fingers and stuff, trying to find that comfortable spot. I want your body language to look just as loose and comfortable as when you're hanging out at home.